Hello, I'm Karen Hall, editor of Cygnus Graphics Media, and I'm talking today with Ray Prince, who is Vice President of the Technical Consulting Group for NAPL. Ray, thank you very much for joining us today.
You're welcome. Happy to be here.
Let me start by asking you now, you are covering two topics this year as part of the Graph Expo educational program, productivity and the UV litho market.
Yes.
What is the true source of productivity issues in commercial print firms?
Well, frankly, in terms of productivity, in these hard times, everybody wants to talk about productivity. Everybody wants higher productivity. The trouble is how do you get it? And frankly, productivity is a three-part formula. It is the technology, plus the people, plus organization. We've seen a lot of great technologies down on the floor, a lot of highly productive presses, pre-press systems, RIPs, etc. The technology is here, we can acquire it, we can buy it. It does exist. There are good people out there. There's some great people out there. If you want to shop around, a lot of people are out of work, and there's some great people that are highly motivated. The biggest area where we see problems is organization. We're trying to run our businesses the same way we did 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, and quite frankly, from a productivity standpoint, it doesn't work anymore. We need to address that organization in clear, concise communication, in the proper management of our raw materials, papers, inks, plates, etc. One key example here is ink. Ink has a shelf life basically of 1 year, yet most plants I find, they'll store inks 8, 10, 12, 14 years. Ink goes bad in time. It's not like fine red wine. It's more like a white wine. It does indeed age, it goes bad. And yet you take bad ink, you throw it in press, we have problems, down goes our productivity. So the organization, I think, is a key factor. If you have the money, can afford the money for the new technology, it works. It absolutely, we are taking out 3 old presses and replacing it with 1 new. And likewise, you only need 2 men to run that press, and quite frankly, you do eliminate jobs. Okay? So I don't see the employment quite coming back the way it was because the technology is so much better. Does that answer the question pretty well for productivity for you?
That really does, yes. Now, one of the areas that you are concentrating on is UV.
Yes.
Can you tell me, why do you feel that UV litho is a growth market for the industry?
I think UV as a whole is a growth market. Be that UV in terms of inkjet is growing rapidly. I mean, 22% per year increases is spectacular. UV in litho is about 14% per year growth. Once again, I want to print on durable substrates. I want to print on plastics. We look at the packaging market today. Whoever in the world thought that McDonald's would begin selling a lot of milk? Well, you put it in a fancy container, you put a great looking label on it with a lot of color, printed UV, and guess what? The kids are asking for milk. You as a consumer, many times, you look at much of your packaging today, a lot of that is UV, where the ink is not in contact with food. The stuff is gorgeous, it looks good. The seller of that product wants you to salivate when you look at those gorgeous whatever in that box or in that flexible pouch. And UV is one way again. We can dry, we can basically do it all in line. I can die cut, score, perf, etc. immediately in line. Another reason is, as we try to save money as a buyer printing, and for many of our buyers, we're maybe going with uncoated paper rather than coated paper, and we can do with UV spectacular color and black and white on uncoated paper because the ink does not absorb into the stock, it lays on top and is cured on top. And what's it? Productivity. I can go out of a sheet fed press and cut immediately. I can go into a folder immediately. And for nasty colors or on, let's say, durable substrates where you don't have absorptivity, we're dry. We're dry. That's why UV is growing. And the price of UV, at the show here, we see 2 dramatic breakthroughs. One is HUV from Komori. The other is compact UV from IST. Both of them basically are using, in most configurations, a 1 lamp system rather than, let's say, 6 or more lamps. You're bringing down the price, the entry-level price of UV tremendously. So UV is going to become much, much more affordable. Unfortunately, UV inks are expensive. There's no kidding about that.
Okay, all right.
That's why it's growing.
Well, now you've had a chance to walk through the floor and see the technology that's out there. What have you seen at this Graph Expo that has really impressed you?
Well, there's a number of things, and we'll talk about, let's say, the big items that maybe talk about the little booths, the little back areas that I love to explore. In the big stuff, quite frankly, it's the HPs and the OSEs and the Ricos and the Kodaks, etc., with some of the advanced toner systems as well as the inkjet systems. The inkjet systems are especially interesting to everybody, and everybody's watching that very, very hard to see how it's developing, how it's going, etc. The quality has definitely come up. Many of them, once again, for certain markets, the quality is there. For certain markets, no, it's not there. But the price point is starting, with a lot of work being such short run, it's great. Now, for longer run work, you cannot beat offset litho. When you talk about the quality as well as price, offset litho is still going to come in cheaper than anybody else for the longer runs. But inkjet, this is in many ways an inkjet show, okay, and as well as a toner show. There are a number of other items being, let's say in conventional litho, being shown. The Heidelberg Anticolor is being shown, which, when you think about it, Heidelberg was a bit early in that technology, but because good color management was not available a number of years ago. Today, good color management as well as good process control is available. Make-ready time, 6 sheets. The 7th sheet is saleable. Having a novice pressman on there, getting perfect color control, color consistency is spectacular. This is something else. The other item that, with this down economy, it's not fashionable to talk about, gee, we're doing really great. Nobody wants to brag. Well, there are printers down here bragging. Big presses from KBA, from Manrold, from Heidelberg. The 162 size, the 73 inch size, the 81 inch size, guess what? They're selling. And printers are buying. The packaging market is hot. The book market, as much as we want to criticize it, is still hot. But there's some big equipment being sold. It kind of keeps a little quiet. They're doing very well. The label printers doing very, very well today. But we keep that a little bit quiet. Okay?
All right. Well, now you alluded earlier to the little booths in the back.
Ah, yes.
Tell me what you found there.
Let me show a few things. From Harrison Bruno, a very good supplier of coding systems. This is a offline coding unit that is pictured here back at their booth. It sells for about $65,000. But what I can do is use this offline unit to complement my regular offset litho as well as my digital presses. So now I can hand feed at fairly good rate and get this gorgeous gloss coating. I mean, the coating, you will have to agree.
That really is beautiful.
I mean, it's good.
Yeah.
$65,000, one pass through, bang, it's done, but I'm complementing every single press that I have in my plant, both digital as well as litho. I'm impressed. The other item, for the small printer, we take a look at MJet. Okay. Now, the MJet has been hyped a lot. It's a water-based inkjet, a water-based coating on there, a low entry price for doing labels. Okay. They're here, this is their first time at Graph Expo. They have been at Label Expo with their label machines. They're down here with 2 machines. It's not a UV machine. It's not, and we'll praise EFI and their Jetreon. It's not a Jetreon unit. It doesn't have all those capabilities that the EFI Jetreon would have, but it's been hyped a lot, and I thought it's worthy of mention, but they're here showing it for the first time. It's worth people going down and taking a look. There was a lot of controversy in the press about, well, how good is the quality? There is the quality, and the color is vibrant. It's, fairly decent label quality. Not as high as UV, doesn't have the rub of UV, but a high quality. We look at another item. I'm always interested in what's going to appeal to the little printers. And we go to ECRM's booth. And I love all these crazy designated. This is the DPP 1200, whatever that means. It is a little toner device that is really rather slick. You're looking at 31 pages per minute, but that's not the slick part. The slick part is a small footprint And as a small commercial printer, let's say I'm a 5-man shop, 10-man shop, whatever, I can do digital envelopes. I can do digital banners up to 48 inches or 47 inches long. I can duplex on it. The quality, quite frankly, is quite decent. That's how this was printed, but quite decent. I've got a wide range of stocks. And, for, I believe the lease price is $300 per month. So to pop into digital in an easy way and have a versatile machine. What impresses me is not only the quality, but the versatility. That's impressive. We take a look at a few other items. We always have a little problem with our salesmen. And in getting a little firm called MMI Solutions, they're not that little, they're a good sized firm, but they're exhibiting here for the first time, I believe, at a print show. But MMI Solutions, software company that does software to aid the salesperson. Okay? We're looking at lead nurturing, leads scoring, CRM integration. You can customize. It's a lot of great stuff and web tracking, etc., for the salesman to aid your salesperson.
Right.
Like that.
I believe they're in the new marketing pavilion that
Yes,
is here for the first time.
They're in the marketing pavilion, and we're glad to see them come aboard. Of course, nobody ever has any problems with their salesmen, right? Another one that quite frankly did impress me, Avanti, which has been around, a firm that's been around for some time, but customer relationship management, but done on a really nice level. There's a lot of these programs out there. Any firm that does not have customer relationship management software to make their salespeople use it, to my way, is foolish. Okay, you as the printer need to own your accounts. You need to have that intimate knowledge. And once again, it's not the salesman's accounts; it's your account as the printer. We need to aid the salesman. What this system does, which is rather clever, is it brings in all the hits from the website, organizes them in a to-do list for your salesman. He has to then check off, did he make the call, etc. If not, you as the manager get the reminder that he didn't do his job. Now, I like that. Now, I realize that all your salespeople are perfect, but maybe there's one or two. We take a look at a few other items. For the large printer, back in the back aisles again, an area that doesn't get a lot of talk, but this is from environmental pneumatics. For waste collection in web houses or perfect binders, etc. And I have been around a lot of these equipment. There's many manufacturers, but what impressed me about these people is no dust. Okay, dust becomes a major problem. And I've been in plants where you can't see from one end of the press room to the other end. Excuse me, just dropped one here. But can't see from one end to the other. And the dust collection on here is quite frankly spectacular. Rather impressed. Tecon is a firm that manufactures spectral densitometers and has been around for a while. One clever thing that they did, I thought was very nice, is with the scanning unit that they have for presses, you can only use it as a scanner, but you can lift the head off and use it as a handheld device. So rather than having two different devices, I'm buying one device that reads exactly the same, and I can use it in two functions. Clever. From the Print and Graphics Scholarship Foundation. Their new poster was done by Dominic Glover out of Platt College, a small graphic arts college, and he won the awards competition this year for the creation of the poster, and I thought it was a little dynamic, and I'm a little old to get excited about some of the different art, but the youth love it. Okay, and they thought it was great.
Absolutely beautiful.
So in prowling the small aisles in the back, once again, in the UV area, there was the IST, and then from a major one, which is Komori, they had that HUV, and those are worthy of taking a look at. So that's what I found in the back aisles.
Well, Ray, thank you so much, and we really enjoyed the show and tell. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Appreciate it.